Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Laura and I live and work here in New York City, and I love creating videos about life in the city, about my job as a content creator, also about my life as a mom, and about things that I like reading books or productivity, motivation. So if any of this sounds like something you'd be interested in and you still haven't subscribed, go ahead, hit the subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell so you can be notified of every time I upload a new video. And if you're still not following me on Instagram, you can go ahead, follow me as Pereira, as you're going to see right here. And if you're not new here and if you have watched many of my videos before, thank you so much for coming back and watching this video as well. So today we're going to be doing what we YouTubers usually call a sit-down video. That literally means that I'm sitting down and I have the camera over here and it's very relaxed, very chill, in opposition to grabbing the camera and filming a vlog and being on the go and recording while you're walking or while you're standing somewhere. So no, the past few videos, I know there've been vlogs and we've been out and about in the city, but today it's the opposite. We're going to be sitting here, and instead of talking about the history and the architecture of New York City, today we're going to be talking a bit more about me, in a way, about this channel, about some frustrations, I would say, some good news, and what's coming next in terms of content creation. So let's get started. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about in this video is my New York City summer series. These are 6 episodes, 6 vlogs that I posted during July, August, and September, showing you around the city. I did an episode on the West Village, on Greenwich Village, Seaport, one of Greenpoint, another one of Tribeca, and another one of Melita. In total, 6 episodes telling you a lot about these neighborhoods, these areas, what to do around there, some historical facts, and I would say that this series has had some positives and some things that I would say are not as positive. So let's start with the good news first, and this is that creating this type of videos is something that I've been dreaming about since I first started this channel when I was living back in Munich in Germany. All I wanted to do was to live in New York City again and also to create these videos about New York City, and I feel like in some way I did that with Vlogmas back in December of 2023, and this is like my second attempt of portraying the city, of sharing more about New York. Fun fact is that I really know quite a lot, I would say, about the history of the city, the history of the different neighborhoods, about the buildings, about the architecture. It is something that I'm really passionate about, something that I wouldn't say I study a lot, but I watch lots of videos, I watch documentaries, I read a lot, and I enjoy talking about all these things. If you're ever walking around New York City with me, I'm the person that's pointing at buildings and saying, oh, this person built that, or this other person used to live here, or sharing what this building used to be in the past, or what used to stand there. And it's not that I just want to be like a know-it-all or a nerd, but I really enjoy it. So being able to do these videos and share some of this history of the city with all of you has really been a joy for me, and I really enjoyed making each and every one of the 6 videos in the summer series. Another great thing about this series, and something that I think I've mentioned before here on YouTube but also on my Instagram, is that, as you probably know, I don't like summer. Summer is for sure my least favorite season in New York. I don't like being sweaty, I don't like being hot, I don't like being in the sun. There's like nothing really great unless you are on a beach or right by the pool drinking a margarita. So I feel like the 3 months or so of summer in the city, I really don't like them. I don't enjoy them, but I did this intentionally. I set out to film the summer series because I wanted to really challenge myself to go out there, to explore more of the city, to record videos, to talk to the camera, even when it was really hot, when I was sometimes kind of sweaty and uncomfortable. I did it to prove to myself that I could do it, that even when when the weather was not what I love, I could still do these videos. I could still go out there and shoot them. And I'm happy that I persevered. I read a few days ago someone saying that one of the things that you really need the most if you're a creator, if you're a freelancer, is that self-discipline. No one was really forcing me to put out one episode of the summer series every single week. No one was really complaining if I didn't. No one was putting any pressure on me. It was really up to me to go out there to shoot, to then come back, edit, and then post and share it on social media. So I feel that in that sense, it has really been a great challenge to my creative process, to my job, and to what I can do even when the circumstances, I would say, are not ideal. And another thing that I would say was really positive was all the comments that I got from all of you that watched the summer series. I feel like so many of you really enjoyed watching these videos about different areas of New York City, about different stores, learning more about the history of certain neighborhoods. So I'm really happy for all the comments that I got on those videos. You know that I read and reply to every single comment, and I really appreciate you. If you're watching this and you watch the summer series, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch a 15 or 20-minute video, to really leave a meaningful comment, to even in some cases share these videos on social media, because I've seen that as well. I feel like these videos and this series maybe didn't have a huge audience, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but the people that watch them really like them, and that was a huge plus for me. Now on the flip side, I would say that I really expected this summer series to be bigger for the channel. I expected all these videos to get more views and to get more subscribers to my channel. I know that a lot of times we as creators, we don't share this part of the job as much, like what our expectations are or where and what the actual results look like, and whether or not we feel frustrated or sad or something in between. So I wanted to talk about this and be honest and transparent, which is like the whole point of this video. And if I had to be honest, I was thinking that this series and these episodes could get around 500 to 1,000 views each, and that I could maybe gain like 10 or 20 subscribers from each of these videos. So that would be like a total of like 50 to 100 subscribers from the whole series. And in reality, the views and the subscribers that I gained were a lot less than that. So the videos got around, I would say, 200 views each, and I think I got around like 3 or 4 subscribers from each video. And it's not that the numbers are bad, but I certainly was expecting these videos to reach more people, to bring a wider audience, and I think that they were good and they really had the merit to become great videos and for them to be viewed by more people. But I get that it is hard. It is hard not only because my channel is a small channel, but also because the New York City vlog landscape is very saturated right now. Every time I go on my YouTube homepage, there are tons of videos of small channels or smaller channels showing a day in my life, a day walking through Soho, a day in my life working a 9 to 5 or 5 to 9. And I know that the competition right now when it comes to videos in New York City and vlogs is probably at its highest point, and I understand that. And I think I try to give my videos like a different optic, talking more about the history and the architecture, and maybe trying to gain more of an audience of people interested less on the person telling the story and more about the city that we are walking through. And maybe in some ways I did. I know that some people joined the channel because of those videos, but maybe in some others it didn't. I would say that all in all, my balance is overall super positive about these videos. Not only that I feel like the people that watch them really like them, but also the fact that I think they made me better in a way. I think I became a better storyteller, became more comfortable in front of the camera. I became better at recording, editing, and posting in a shorter time frame, which is something that I did quite a lot when I was doing Vlogmas last year and putting out videos every 2 or 3 days. And this like really cemented that. I feel like this summer series was like a step in that same direction that I took with vlogmas, and in my opinion, some of my best work when it comes to portraying the city, to showing New York City. I feel like I'm better now at recording scenes and showing the city through my eyes. I know what I want, what I like, and how I want to tell a story. So overall, I would say that I'm really happy, and that if you watch some of those videos and you enjoyed it, I am so thankful for that, and I'm really happy that you decided to give them a watch. In some cases that you decided to share them. If you haven't watched them already, I will be linking them down below in the description box, and if you have watched them and you like them, you can go ahead, of course, and share them with someone that maybe is planning a trip to New York City, or you can share them with someone that you think might enjoy watching those videos. After finishing those 6 videos, that summer series is coming to an end, and also summer is coming to an end. I'm filming this video on September 12th, and we only have 10 more days of summer officially. On the 22nd, fall is coming, and that also means the end of the season as a whole in New York City and the beginning of a new era, which is our second topic that we are going to discuss. So the second thing that I wanted to talk about was this channel moving forward. First of all, the channel is turning 4 years old in October. I started in October of 2020. We've been through the beginning of the channel, lots of book recommendations videos, my life in Munich, coming back to the US, becoming a mom, lots been going on. So now we're turning 4. I'm thinking about doing like a special video with a giveaway. That's probably coming in October, but also with the beginning of fall, and probably one of my favorite seasons in New York City and one of the most beautiful seasons in New York City. I also want to create content here for YouTube. I've been posting a lot on Instagram stories asking you what you like to see of me, of this channel in fall. I know a lot of you have been saying that you'd love to see some sort of series like the summer series here on the channel, and while I like that idea, I don't want it to be the exact same as we did for summer, but I'm also not sure exactly what I want to do. So if you have some ideas of what you would like to see for summer here in New York City, I would love your input, your ideas down below in the comments. Personally, I'm thinking about doing videos around different topics and themes rather than neighborhoods. I'm thinking of doing a whole video about Halloween and Halloween decorations, maybe even 2, showing you around different neighborhoods where to see the most perfect Halloween decorations. That's probably something for October. I also want to create some videos with a friend that's coming into town, talking about the New York City of Gossip Girl, the New York City of Taylor Swift. I think that those are 2 very interesting topics. And someone also suggested a video all about the best stationery stores here in the city, which I think was a great idea, and also one about bookstores. So I think that will probably be the videos that I will be planning for this new season in the channel and this new season in New York City. So I would love to know your thoughts on this video ideas down below in the comments. The third topic that I wanted to talk about is Fashion Week. Yesterday was my last day of New York Fashion Week, and this season I would say was probably my favorite season in the past like 2 years or so. I would say that the last season that I enjoyed a lot was probably when I was pregnant with Julia in September of 2022. That was a great season. I wore so many fun looks. I loved dressing up with a belly. It was really a great season overall. And then I feel like February and September of last year and February of this year as well were seasons where I was not feeling like myself 100%. I was still like trying to juggle this new role as a mom and my role as a creator, and going to Fashion Week and not feeling guilt for not being at home and not being with Julia, and learning about my new role as a parent alongside my husband and as a family of 3 or 4 if we were counting Ori as well. So I feel like I was there, but maybe at some points I was not really present. I was very tired. I was not like 100% in sync with my body because I was postpartum at some point, and then because I was not really happy with how my body was feeling overall in terms of like energy. I feel like the past 3 seasons of Fashion Week were really like a transformation process. I don't know if it was really palpable from the other side of the screen that I was like going through something, going through this like process of change, but I feel like this season really was fun again. I really try to emphasize this, and I try to remind myself quite often how fortunate I am to be able to attend Fashion Week, to be able to go see shows and go see presentations and attend events and basically run around the city and do what I love the most during this like 4, 5, 6 days. And I feel like this season I really went back to that. I re-wore lots of looks that I've worn in the past and I felt even better wearing them. I wore like a couple of new pieces, but overall I feel like I felt good. I felt good in the clothes I was wearing. I felt good going to the events that I attended because I felt welcome, because I felt happy, because I had the chance to connect with other people, because I love the content that I created from those events. I was like, this is a good video, this is a good photo. And it's like in a way also like regain this joy of sharing a lot of this content online. So it's like a very positive balance in general and a very great season. I hope that if you watch my content through Instagram that you enjoyed it. If not, you can go ahead, watch the reels that I have posted over there, and I have been showing some of the content over here as well. But I really like this season in general, and I hope that you got this like same feeling from my content as well, and that you like what I shared and getting to learn more about fashion and about New York Fashion Week. And speaking of fashion, that takes us to topic number 4 that I wanted to talk about in this video, and that is that I want to do a new video talking about fall fashion. This is something that I did last year and I had a lot of fun because it allowed me to review what different designers had shown on the runway in terms of fashion trends, in terms of color, in terms of shape, in terms of pieces that they think we'll be wearing for fall. And I love doing that video and getting to share that here on YouTube and then some parts of it over on Instagram. And I'm thinking about doing another video with fall fashion, and I would love to know your thoughts if you like that video and if you would like for me to do a new one for 2024. And also, how are we feeling about fashion videos in general? Personally, I don't think it's a content that I love watching on YouTube, but I know that fall fashion outfit videos sometimes do really well and people really like them. They take inspiration from them. So I would love to know your thoughts. It's not something that I have ever done on this channel before. I've done some lookbooks on my other channel in Spanish in the past, but nothing on here. So I would really love to know your thoughts on these topics moving forward, and also in terms of what kind of content I'll be creating for the channel for fall and this new season that's coming. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about on this video is all about books. I know that I talked about the 11 books that I read at the beginning of 2024 in my video, I think about 2 months ago or so. And I want to talk about the 3 books that I've read since that video. So the first of them is called The Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. This one was our book club book for the month of, I think, either July or August, the time that we met on Austin's rooftop, and that I shared some snippets on one of my last videos. And I love this book. I think that I was very wary at the beginning because I knew it was more of a romance. It's a story about 2 friends. They live in Canada, in Toronto, and the family of one of them has a house on PEI, which is this island in Canada that I've never been, but apparently it's very nice. And this character invites her friend to her parents' house, and the only rule that she has is don't fall in love with my brother, which if you've read any book, you already know what that means. And I am not the biggest fan of romance books. I feel like they're just like not really my style, but I love how this one was not only focused on romance, but a lot about this island in Canada that now I want to visit because apparently it's beautiful, but also about the love that we have in the relationships with our friends and how our friends can become sometimes the love of our lives, and how we can sometimes mourn a friendship as if we were mourning like a love relationship if we grow apart, or how friends can become our family, especially if we are apart from our families or if we don't have like a great relationship. I really love this book. I feel like it's a great summer read. It really transports you to summer, being on the beach and having a great time. So if you live in a country where summer is coming, I highly suggest you read this one. And if not, you can still read it in fall. It's fine, but I feel like it's especially a great book for summer. Another book that I read is called The Memo by Rachel Dotes and Lauren Mackling. I'm sorry, I'm reading from my screen, but I wanted to do that correctly. And you probably saw that I was reading this book in one of my blogs, and I really like this. This one was an ARC, an advanced reader copy that the editorial sent me. I think I ended up reading it after its official release. I will link the link to this book and the one I mentioned before and the one that I will mention down below in the description box. But this one is about a woman who feels like she hasn't succeeded in life as much as her friends have. She has two best friends which are doing amazing in life. They either have a great family that they wanted, or they have a great career, or they have both. They're really thriving, and she feels like she's failing. She doesn't have a great relationship. She is not living to her full potential. She doesn't really like her job. She feels like she missed the memo. You know, there's this phrase at least in English and in the US, where you're like, did you get the memo? And the memo is not necessarily an actual memo, but sometimes means like an idea, an agreement. Like, for example, if you are meeting with friends and you show up wearing a floral dress and everyone is wearing black, you might say like, oh, I missed the memo, and there was not a memo. Maybe sometimes things just happen because of coincidence, but it's a phrase that is widely used. And the idea of this book is that she feels that she missed the memo that would help her be successful in life. And when she goes to a reunion with her college classmates, she gets a weird text saying that, yeah, she actually didn't get the memo, but now there it is. She now has a new chance to get this memo, to follow this memo, and to get the life that she is meant to be living. Of course, it has like some fantasy and going back in time and changing things and being able to like rewrite your story and your future. And I know that a lot of people maybe don't like that. I do like some books when they have like some of this like unreal stuff, but then some other stuff that's very, very real. I really like this book. I think it's a funny read. Even though you kind of see what's coming, I think it's a great read and I recommend it as well. And the other book that I read, and this one was also one of our book club picks, is The Perfect Couple by Ellen Hildebrand. This one I think I mentioned on one of my vlogs as well, that I was reading it. I was actually the one that suggested the group that we read this book because I've heard a lot of people talking about it and it was becoming a show on Netflix, and you know that I love reading the book before actually watching the shows, so I really wanted to read that. And I haven't read anything by Ellen Hildebrand in the past, and I feel like everyone is talking about this author. She's based in Nantucket, which is an island in Massachusetts here in the US, and it's a very exclusive island. A lot of people that live there have this huge, beautiful houses, very expensive, lots of money, lots of boats, very old money, generational wealth. And she bases most or all of her books in that island in Nantucket. And this story is about a woman that's getting married into a family that owns a house there in Nantucket. They're getting married at her future husband's family house there in Nantucket. And the morning of the wedding, they find out that the bridesmaid is dead. So I thought that the plot was really good. The idea of someone dying right before the wedding, the idea of this family being like very rich and having lots of money, but also lots of secrets, people doing things that are maybe not great. I loved it, and I think that the first few chapters of the book were kind of like hard to go through, but then the middle, I read that really, really fast, and knowing the actors that would portray these characters on the TV show made it even more enticing because I could picture this woman in the book and her being Nicole Kidman, and it was like building up to be like a really great ending. And at the end, for me at least, it was so disappointing. I was like, what? The ending felt really rushed. I've seen some critics of people saying this was supposed to be a love story, and that's what this author usually writes, and she wanted to add like a bit of mystery, and this is not great. And personally, I wouldn't say that I liked it. I would recommend it because I know that a lot of people love the book, so there are chances that you will like them as well. And also, if you want to watch the TV show on Netflix, you might want to read the book first. But now I'm like unsure about reading more books by this same author, although I would love to. Now I'm like torn. But what I know for sure is that I want to visit Nantucket, also Canada. I want to travel. I want to get to know more of the world. But those are the 3 books that I read. I have read 14 so far this year. I would ideally love to read 24. I don't think I'm getting there, but I think that getting to like 15 or 20 would still be great. And that brings us to the end of this video. I haven't drank most of my coffee. Thankfully, this is like a thermal mug, so it's still hot. That's good news. But I really wanted to do this more chatty video. I know that, as I said before, most of my videos in the past 2-3 months have been vlogs where I'm talking about New York City. And this time I wanted it to be more about me, about this channel, about this community, about the things that we like, that we enjoy, what you and me, what we would like to see on this channel moving forward, instead of just running around the city as I usually do. I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as you enjoy the vlog, or maybe you prefer one or the other. You can let me know that in the comments as well. I really appreciate you watching the summer series, the support that you gave to that series, you watching a lot of these other videos on my channel. I really want to get to 3,000 subscribers by the beginning of October, when my channel turns 4 years old. So if you like this video, if you like my videos in general and my channel, I would really appreciate if you would share it with friends, with family, with anyone you think would appreciate the content that I create. And as I said before, if you're still not subscribed already, go ahead, hit the subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell so you can get notified of every time I upload a new video. And you can also follow me on Instagram as Pereira, as you're going to see right here. Please go ahead and leave all your thoughts, all your ideas on the content that I created on this video and the content that you would like to see on this channel moving forward down below in the comments. I'll be reading and replying to all of them and taking ideas from those comments for my future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and as I usually say, I will see you on the next one. Bye!